Yeah, I just want to be the greatest.
This video is brought to you by Patreon show sponsor, your friend and mine, The3rd ERA, and his wife, Leslie Arambula. She's an author, a teacher, and an editor. If you need any of your work edited, please check out our website, lesliearambula.com. I will leave a link in the description below. It's your boy, Hi-Fi Vega, back again, and this time we're here to do a sound deadening tips, tricks. We'll go over how it works, somewhat. I'll try to explain it as simply as I can because, I only know it simply. But before we get into that, this video is not sponsored by Matt66, but they did happen to send me a few boxes of product here. And the way that happened, they seen the Hi-Fi Hyundai build. They reached out and wondered if they could share some of the video footage, on their channel, kind of promote their product. And I said, that's fine. We should work together in the future. They hollered at me, sent me a few boxes out, didn't ask for anything in return, but I figured this was a great time to go over the basics of sound dampening. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get straight into it. Here we have a few examples of the different type of sound dampening material that you might come across and that you're going to want to use to complete your build, get your doors sounding great, get rid of those vibrations, stuff like that. We'll start off with what's called a CLD tile. Basically, what this does is it lowers the resonance of a panel. You can go full coverage with this product and, really dampen that panel, or you can do it strategically. It depends on what you're going for and how much of this material you have to use. Full coverage, obviously is probably the best choice, but if you're going to use, say 40 to 50% coverage, even 70% coverage, 30% coverage, you can get a pretty good result as long as you think about where you're putting it and you're wanting to put it on the panels with the least rigidity. So panels with a lot of bends in them, those will be better. They don't need as much deadener as panels that have nothing on them. So that's a CLD tile. That's going to lower your resonant frequency. Another issue for rattles is plastic panels vibrating against the door skins. That's where this comes in. This is called a decoupling layer, giving you some separation from the panels, to the metal itself. This is closed cell foam. You can get this, backed like this with adhesive, or you can stick it on yourself. This helps with the vibration from the plastic panels. You're going to want to use these in conjunction if you have just these two. If you have the CLD tile and the closed cell foam, you'll want to cover with the CLD tile on your panel, and then you want complete coverage, or as complete as coverage as you can get with the closed cell foam, because the rattles happen just about anywhere. You're going to see later in this video, I use a product that is a combination of these two. It has a CLD layer and then it has a closed cell foam layer. Those products, in my opinion, work very well. A lot of people don't like them. I do like them. It really simplifies the install. One of the other pieces of the puzzle that I do not have here is called mass-loaded vinyl. Mass-loaded vinyl is mainly for blocking out outside noises. In my case, I don't really need to block outside noises. I just want to stop the rattles that are inside my vehicle. If you're doing a really nice sound quality system, you're probably going to want some MLV to block out that outside noise and get that, nice pristine sound. Another thing that doesn't always come up is Tessa tape. What you can do with Tessa tape is in the clips that you use to mount your panel, you can wrap a little bit of Tessa tape on there and get them to be a little more secure. They won't vibrate as much. They'll keep your panels in there nice and firm. It's a very good thing to do in all your panels that use these little plastic clips. It really makes, that nice little difference, and it helps the panel stay more firm in my experience. So I will show you all this as I go to install. I'm not going to install it in a door. I'm going to do it on my back hatch right now because that's the easiest to do to show you guys. And obviously I will do as much of the trooper as I can in the future, and we'll get that all nice and buttoned up. But for the purpose of today's video, we're just going to do the back hatch, and I will show you what it sounds like deaden versus Another piece, the second door of the back hatch, not deadened, so we'll get to see the difference in sound. I will show you the method that I'm using with the CLD tiles, which is going to be less is more. I'm going to try to strategically place them on the big open spots, and the folded spots not so much. I'll just kind of fill in here and there, and we'll see what kind of result I get. So let's get straight into that. Let's start installing this stuff. The very first thing you want to do is get your material and let it sit out in the sun and get heated up. This will really help you with your installation, especially if you're in a warm climate, and it really kills the need to use a heat gun because this stuff will be nice and pliable and very easy to apply. Now we're ready to remove our panels and get to installing. I'm using the rear door hatch on this because it was easier to show you guys, and it just saves me time. It's a nice wide area and I got a good camera angle at it. So once you remove that, you want to remove your vapor barrier, and you definitely want to put that back on when you're done. So try not to tear it up like I did unless you're going ahead to replace it. Also, you need to clean this panel down. I didn't have any alcohol handy, so acetone works fine for me. It's quick drying. And just get it nice and clean because you want a clean surface to adhere your CLD tiles to. Now that it's clean and dry, it's time to install our material. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a brand new razor blade. The scissors, I would use old ones because this stuff kind of ruins scissors. Okay, we're going to do this like I would any other door. We're going to get as much material on that outside wall as we can. That's the thinnest. It has no bends. It's the most resonant panel that you have. So you want to get as much material on that as you can. Make sure that you are using a roller of some sort, and make sure that you really press it in as much as you can, because that's what makes it stick and that's what makes it work. So definitely roll on everything you're putting on. If you can get access to a long-handled roller, that would probably help you out in situations like this, but any roller you have will work, and make sure you use it. Since there's not actually a speaker going into this hatch, I don't have to worry about getting as much on the outside skin that is facing the plastic part. So I'm not going to really focus on that. I'm going to focus on this outside skin, and I will just place this strategically throughout here in spots that I kind of noticed rattles. My main focus is going to be on the big plastic panel that covers this hatch. I've already done the Tessa tape on the door panel clips like I mentioned before, so those will stay nice and secure. All I need to do is clean this up just like before, then we'll be ready to apply our material. On this panel, I'm going to use the hybrid product that I talked about before. This is the Barrier MX4. It has on the bottom layer a CLD tile as well as closed cell foam on the top. I like this type of product. I think it works well, and I think it makes the install process much easier. Now we're ready to install. When you're laying this out, you want to make sure that you don't cover up any of your door clips. So you can mark those just by simply pushing the product through there, and you can see where the indentation is. I use a socket just to punch a hole. There is products that are meant for this, but a socket works fine, especially on this material. And once that's done, you're ready to place it down and kind of pat it down with your hand. Then we'll go back with the roller, and any spots that aren't meant to be covered, make sure that you kind of peel them up, and we'll cut them with the razor knife. Make sure that our panel goes on nice and cleanly. Now I can get this panel back on. We can see what kind of difference we made. Now you see I don't have full coverage on the door skin here, but what I'm trying to do is eliminate rattles. This is not holding a speaker. Otherwise I would be using products like fast rings and trying to get a little bit better coverage. So let's hear what kind of difference we made. Okay, I want to give you guys an idea of what this sounds like with the deadening versus without. So I have deadened this panel here. I have not deadened this panel here. So let's start with the one that is deadened. Now we're going to go to the panel that is not deadened. This is a much smaller panel, but at the end of the day, the most important thing about sound dampening or sound deadening, whatever you want to call it, is the methodology, not the material itself. Of course, you need some decent quality materials. You don't need the very best materials to get a good result. Also, you don't need full coverage. You can do that if you have the money, if you have the time and the ability, but you can do a lot and get, 70% of the result with, 30 to 40% of the product. So it really depends on what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. We covered the different types. We got the constrained dampening layer, then we have the closed cell foam that is going to give you some separation in the panels and make sure that you have a nice rattle-free system. That's what we all want. And of course, if you really want to go overboard, you can use the mass-loaded vinyl. That is a very big chore to tackle, and it's mostly for blocking out outside noises outside the vehicle. So if you're an SQ guy and you really want to refine your system and you want no outside noises in, that's definitely something you want to check out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, the quick tips, tricks, all that type of stuff. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters, but I want to give a special shout out to the $6 or more members: 2001 Monolithic, The 3rd ERA, G Nava, Joaquin Juarez, Paul Smith, Byron Chambliss, The Cardio Guy, Jason Zemer, Travis McClendon, Brandon Hanna, William Berg, Boxboy Audio Sound Solutions, and Jesus Tires. For as little as $2 a month, you can join the team and get exclusive Patreon-only content not available on YouTube. So if you want to help your boy out, check me out at patreon.com/HiFiVega. Oh, 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 oh.
Got him! Got him!